This Thanksgiving, I wanted to do something a little bit different and tell you what I'm all thankful for. My friends, my family, all of you, my beautiful viewers and subscribers, and above all else, Doom Patrol. So I decided to create Praise Patrol. Praise Patrol is a series of video essays and podcasts made by a group of very talented creators, all in service of expressing love for Doom Patrol and the people who make the show and comic books possible. So after you're done checking out this video, check out the rest of the videos in the playlist in the description. And if you love Doom Patrol and want to submit your own entry to Praise Patrol, tweet at me at critical_rants, and I'll add your video essay to the official playlist. Now,
let's turn the party, girl.
All newcomers are welcome, but there's a price of admission. You gotta sing, baby.
I don't sing.
I don't sing. It's difficult to state just how much meaning is imbued into this line. It's a refusal that's been uttered again and again for nearly a century. This is the story of Larry Trainor, the Negative Man. But before we go any further, before we can understand why this scene is so significant in Larry Trainor's character arc, we need to understand Larry Trainor. And to do that, we need to go back. All the way back.
I swear, if that woman accuses my son of being a queer, I'm...
Please, you know it's true. The signs are everywhere. And now your son is going to cost us our standing at school, at church. Lord Gerald, we could lose everything.
From a young age, Larry was taught that being himself had consequences, that it was dangerous to himself and those around him for him to be gay. So it makes sense that a child who was taught to hide the truest parts of himself would grow into an adult who would hide his true feelings and identity from his lover, John, and from his wife, Cheryl. It makes sense that he would hide the truest parts of himself from anyone who dared to get close to him. It makes sense that a person who was tortured physically and psychologically for years by a secret government agency would be incredibly reluctant to face not only that agency, but nearly any challenge at all. Larry is, almost without exception, the last person on board with the Doom Patrol's plans. He is always the first person to run away from his problems and from virtually any form of confrontation. For example, when offered a day out in Cloverton, the local town, Larry refuses and stays home. When dragged out into town anyway, Larry is anxious to even leave the bus. He's the last one to step outside and appears to have a panic attack. When Rita blobs out in the diner, he runs away from her, his closest friend in the entire world, exactly when she needs him most. When presented with the choice to abandon Cloverton, Larry is the first to agree with the chief on leaving. He's the first to speak at all and immediately chooses the option with the least conflict. And when Rita decides to go back for Cliff and return to Cloverton, Larry barely protests.
Larry? Larry's a yes.
And guess what? All of those examples are only from the first episode. But given Larry's history of being a gay man in the mid-20th century, as well as his abduction and torture at the hands of a government organization, you can't really blame him for being so withdrawn. And it's this secret government agency, the Bureau of Normalcy, that kickstarts the plot of my favorite episode of Doom Patrol, Danny Patrol. The Bureau dedicates their existence to wiping out anything that they deem to be unnatural or undesirable, and chief on that list is Danny the Street, a sentient, teleporting, genderqueer street that acts as a refuge for marginalized groups of people. On Danny, everybody is welcome, and everyone is free to be themselves. Danny themselves subsists off of their inhabitants' happiness, and those inhabitants are called the Dannysons, which is simply the greatest thing ever. Anyway, the Doom Patrol search for their leader, the Chief, brings them to Danny. Given that Larry has spent a lifetime hiding from any sort of human connection, Larry doesn't exactly feel like he belongs here, even in this place of belonging. Which is why it's so rewarding when Larry sings.
Everybody loses it. Everybody wants to throw it all away sometimes.
Seeing Larry's smile here genuinely brings me so much joy because Larry has been beaten down over and over and over again. And finally, he gets a win. Here in the shelter of a living, superpowered street. For the first time in his life, Larry allows himself to be seen. For the first time in his life, Larry sheds his fears and insecurities. And miraculously, Larry is accepted. He is accepted in spite of his selfish actions, in spite of his regret, in spite of his trauma, and it is one of the most beautiful, moving, and uplifting.
I don't sing.
Oh, Larry doesn't sing. Larry runs from the opportunity to be vulnerable, to connect again. But conflict soon comes to Danny the Street anyway in the form of the Bureau of Normalcy. Morally corrupt, a former agent of the Bureau turned drag queen, offers herself to the Bureau in order to protect Danny and the Dannysons. But Danny, when given this opportunity to escape, to run, to avoid this confrontation, says, only by seeing that it is possible for people like him to be brave and to face their demons, does Larry take action.
You go back to the Bureau and you tell them Danny the Street is off limits.
Maybe I'll put you on the list instead.
I'm already on it. Tell them Captain Trainer sends his best.
Fuck yes. Notice how Larry steps in here on his own accord. He's unafraid to face the Bureau because Larry's not running anymore. And with the courage that Larry has gained here, well, Larry sings.
Was that bad? Oh.
He's promptly teleported back home mid-song, but he still sings. This may seem like a small step in terms of overall character development, and maybe you could say the same about Larry punching a man in the face, but both of these events are extremely significant, and they represent the turning point for Larry as a character. Seeing this change, this decision to be active on Larry's part, is so inspiring because we know what he's had to overcome. Take a moment to think about how old Larry is. Larry has spent a literal lifetime running from his problems, yet after 100 years of fear and stagnation, Larry makes a decision. After decades of hiding himself from the world in his civilian life, after decades of emotional stasis in Doom Manor, Larry chooses to confront his problems directly. That is how you create tangible emotional stakes, and that is how you write a goddamn character arc. What's so impressive about this moment and other Larry moments like this is how much information is communicated visually. Notice Larry's reaction when the Bureau of Normalcy is mentioned. The trauma is all there, conveyed by Larry's body language as he turns away. And speaking of bodies, we can't go one moment longer without addressing Captain Larry Trainer is played by two different actors, Matt Bomer, who voices the character and plays him in flashbacks, and Matthew Zook, who plays Larry while in bandages. The same is true for Robot Man, where Brendan Fraser plays the face and voice of the character, while Riley Shanahan plays Robot Man while in the suit. Much of what I'm about to praise Zook here for applies to Riley Shanahan as well. Larry's emotions are communicated to the viewer largely through his posture. Look at how uncomfortable Larry appears when entering a bar for the first time in decades. Look at how deeply he retreats into his coat when all eyes are on him, how he flinches when the spotlight turns his way. If you turn off the dialogue in these scenes, you can still tell what emotion Larry is feeling. And across the entire series, Zook accomplishes all of this without ever showing his face. So for your fantastic performance as Larry Trainer, Mr. Zook, I am proud to formally award you with 2 gold stars. Congratulations. Larry doesn't get a grand moment of change in this episode. He doesn't get a transformative, cathartic musical number to wash away his woes, but he does get a small moment, a small victory over the Bureau and over his own lifelong cowardice. And ultimately, I think that's why this episode and this show mean so much to me and to so many people. As wacky and bizarre as Doom Patrol is, the struggles that its characters face are very, very real. And that's why anyone watching the series can relate to a radioactive mummy, a vain pile of Play-Doh, and a perpetually numb antique tin can. Doom Patrol not only helps its audience understand its characters, but also helps its audience relate to and learn from its characters. Watching Doom Patrol makes me want to be a better person, and gives me hope that I can be a better person, no matter how many times I fail or screw up. I'll always be inspired by these characters not because they are flawless heroes, but because they aren't. What I'm really trying to say here is that Doom Patrol shows you that even if life keeps you down relentlessly, even if you let your negative spirits rule your actions, even if you are filled with regret and bitterness and anger, you can change. You can be brave. You can be better. You are more powerful than your past, and you are more powerful than your trauma. If there's any one takeaway from Doom Patrol as a series, that might be it. And I don't think I've ever seen a superhero show earn its moment of change for a character more convincingly than with a closeted 90-year-old burn victim performing a musical number at a drag show on a sentient, genderqueer, teleporting street. And that is goddamn beautiful. Thank you so much for watching. I made this video because I wanted to thank the people who helped bring this absurd, heartfelt, inspiring show to life. Their passion and talent shines through every frame of this series, and I hope that the rest of the videos in this playlist help to highlight that. So if you worked on Doom Patrol in any capacity, if you made this miracle of a series possible in any way, thank you. Your hard work is appreciated, and it deserves to be recognized and supported. But unfortunately, due to the COVID-19 crisis, many of the people who worked on Doom Patrol are currently out of a job. Workers in the entertainment industry deserve sustainable working conditions and job security even in these difficult times. So if you want to contribute, you can contact your representatives and get more info on how to help out via the link in the description. Thank you again if you contributed to Doom Patrol's creation and success in any way, and as it turns out, I'm not the only one who would like to say thank you.
Hi, my name's Meg. I just wanted to take this opportunity to tell you how much Doom Patrol means to me. I started watching the show a few months ago, basically binge watched both seasons, and it's meant everything. It's helped me with some of my own past trauma. It has helped me to feel like I'm not so alone, watching how the characters cope and deal, and Larry's storyline in particular has been so amazing for me because it helped me to come out as bi, and I just wanted to say thank you.
For me, Doom Patrol is special because it's introduced me to some of my favorite comic book characters and comic book stories. It's also introduced me to some actors that are really great that I really enjoy watching. It's also shown me that sometimes it's okay to be weird, sometimes people find it funny, and sometimes you just gotta kind of be who you are. And it's special to me because I'm self-conscious about that kind of thing, and it shows me it's okay. It's one of my favorite shows right now, and I really hope after season 2 that it gets a season 3.
Hi, I'm Leslie. I just want to say thank you for bringing Brendan Fraser back to our screens. He is my favorite actor, and getting to hear him curse in every way imaginable is the joy in my life I never knew I needed. He literally gets to swear every damn day, and I am here for it. So thank you to Jeremy Carver. Thank you to the incredibly talented staff. Writing staff. Thank you to all the actors. You have taken this obscure comic and turned it into this beautifully moving dramedy about these tragic and deeply flawed people who are working to overcome their own traumatic past. That is something we can all relate to. The show is cathartic and heartwarming and funny and meta and surreal and abstract, and I love every single minute of this roller coaster ride you take us on. I would have been devastated had it not been renewed for season 3, so I'm grateful for you all. I wish you all the best, and this show has definitely impacted my life. Thank you so much. I love you all.
What Doom Patrol means to me is that it's never too late to change. Change is difficult. It can even feel impossible. You can stay in a really bad place for a really long time. And as someone who often feels that way, when I look at superheroes in media, I often feel like, wow, I wish I could balance my life like that. I wish I could be like that, but I'm not, I'm too broken to even function, let alone help others. But the characters in Doom Patrol, they're also broken people, just trying to fix themselves. And, watching them confront their own inner darkness, and just their everyday struggle to overcome that and help each other and be there for each other, that's heroic to me. And it makes me feel like, change is possible. Even if it takes a long time, you're not a lost cause. Even if the road ahead seems foggy and like you can't tell. Seriously, how does Larry fucking see with glasses on without them fogging up? I have no idea. What's even on this paper? Wait, the white space. No.
Alright, you want to know why I love Doom Patrol? I love Doom Patrol because it's art, and it's art that doesn't come from a place of cynicism. It comes from passion. You can tell everyone who works on that show, all the writers, directors, all the actors especially, you can tell they actually care about the show they're making. They care about the story they're trying to tell. And it, like any good superhero story, it does its job of telling you that, yeah, life sucks. It really does. And no matter who you were or who you are or what you're going through, you can do something to be better. You can be a better person, and a lot of the time that comes from being better with someone else, with a family.
I discovered Doom Patrol in college through Gerard Way's run, and up until then I only thought of superheroes in terms of Batman and Superman, these big, perfect paragons who always knew the right thing to do. But with Doom Patrol, I found characters who were a lot like me, who struggled with identity and self-improvement, but they embraced that imperfection, and it took a while, but this strange supergroup changed my life. We see people out there who sort of have everything together, but reading that, it kind of brought me back down to earth and realized that I don't have to be anybody else but me.
Thank everyone from Doom Patrol into bringing this amazing, magical, weird fantasy of the world of Doom Patrol to life. It's from the pages of Grant Morrison's Doom Patrol, like all the characters. And I also want to thank the writers and actors and actresses who acted their roles such perfectly that the characters have flaws, they have personalities. The writers know how the characters would react to certain situations, and the characters aren't one note. They have complexities, they have flaws, they have obstacles that they have to triumph over. I just want to thank everyone involved in Doom Patrol. Doom Patrol is amazing. I didn't know I needed this show. The show is just so good with bringing all the themes of trauma and everything come together, Thank you so much for bringing this show to life. Thank you.
My name is Zoel, and I discovered Doom Patrol in March 2019, about a month after it came out. A while ago before that, I had been diagnosed with dissociative identity disorder, which I still didn't fully understand, and I was also in the process of understanding my sexuality. I had no prior idea of what Doom Patrol was about, and I was surprised to find so many characters I could relate to, like Jane and Larry, who brought me comfort as I began to analyze certain aspects of my identities and the parts of me that had been recently discovered. Doom Patrol became immensely important to me very quickly, and it is now the most intense and long-lasting interest I've ever had. The amount of care and love that everyone involved with it puts into the show is heartwarming. I even got a Larry tattoo this year, if that gives you any idea of how important the show is to me. I put it on my body forever. Doom Patrol is also responsible for me realizing my dream of being a television writer. I'd been writing since I was a toddler, but I had always assumed that writers had to go into fiction, which I didn't necessarily see myself doing. But when I watched Doom Patrol and started following everyone on social media that was involved with it, I realized my passion lied in screenwriting. I wanted to write something as good as Doom Patrol and impact other people in the way Doom Patrol had touched me. I now know that I'm going to give my all to my dream of being a screenwriter. I even got into college for it, and previously I had been told due to my learning disability that college was pointless. But now I know what I want to do and what I can do. So yeah, in short, Doom Patrol has been so important to me, and I thank everyone who was involved in the show, no matter what role you play. You have all changed my life. Thank you.